What's going on, guys? My name is Adam, I am a Super Swan, and welcome to another FM18 experiment, the Champions League Final 2018 experiment. This is a two-part series, and this is part 2 where we focus on Liverpool. I had to look where it was. My team, Liverpool. We've already done a Real Madrid experiment, which I'll put in the description down below for you to check out. So this is the second part of that, where we're going to be moving Liverpool into the Spanish First Division. So how will the Reds do with Spanish opposition? Can they win the Spanish League? So they've got to compete with teams such as Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Valencia, Sevilla. There's a lot of big teams in the Spanish League, but can Liverpool win the league? I have every confidence, although I am very biased being a Liverpool fan. But can they win the Champions League? Can they do anything else? Can they win any cups whilst they are in the Spanish division? So as with these experiments, we're going to go 1 year in the future, then a further 2 years in the future, and then a further 3 years. So Liverpool have got 6 years to try and win La Liga and topple the giants of Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atletico. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go 1 year in the future. We're going to go to the end of the current season just to see how they got on in their first year. Have they won anything already? I will see you at the end of Season 1. We've arrived at the end of Season 1 for Liverpool in the La Liga, the Spanish First Division. Let's have a look and see how they've got on in their first year. If we look at the competitions, we'll go through each individually and let's have a look. So they came in 4th place in the league. They were 11 points off the top. But Atletico Madrid won the league this year, so they have toppled Real Madrid and Barcelona. But Liverpool have come 4th, so they've done very well. They've got to compete with Valencia, Sevilla for that 4th place. But they have gone into the Champions League via the league. Champions League, they were knocked out by Hoffenheim in the best place playoff by Hoffenheim. So they didn't even make the Champions League proper. In the Europa League, they were knocked out by Arsenal. And in the Spanish Cup, they were knocked out by Atletico Madrid. But we have a look at the schedule. We'll see how they got on over the course of the season. So they won most of their friendlies. They lost to Roma. They beat Hoffenheim 1-0 at home, but they lost 2-0 away. So that's how they got knocked out of the Champions League. Very disappointing. Decent start to the league. You know, they won their first 2 games. They lost 2-0 to Real Madrid. They're on another unbeaten run. They lost to Barcelona. Went on another unbeaten run. Lost to Valencia. So there's no draws here. There's always wins and there's no draws at the moment. So they lost to Valencia. They lost to Eibar in the first division. They drew against PSV in the Europa League. They drew against Atletico. They lost to Real Betis, I think that is. So around Christmas time, they struggled around Christmas, or the start of Christmas, but then they sort of got back on track. They lost to Sevilla in the 5th round of the Spanish Cup. In the first, it's 2 legs, of course. So they beat them over 2 legs. They beat Valencia in away goals over 2 legs as well. Lost to Sevilla in the league. And then they did not too bad. They went on a bit of an unbeaten run then from January to February, where they beat PAOK, as Loki Doki would say, in the Europa Cup first knockout round in the Europa League. They lost to Malaga in the league, lost to Barcelona in the league, but they beat Olympique Marseille in the second knockout round. Lost to Villarreal though, so they have, you know, there's the odd losses here and there, but they lost out to Arsenal though in the Europa League. There is still 1 game left of the season to play though, apparently, so they may not finish 4th after all. I thought I holidayed until the 31st of May. Clearly not. There's 1 game left to play. Shall we see how they get on? Ooh, we'll do this live. We'll go on to the 14th. Can they finish higher than 4th? Let's have a look. So we'll continue a few times just to advance it. There we go. We should be fine now. So did Liverpool finish higher than 4th? Let's have a look. No, they still came fourth. So nothing changes there. So, I mean, yeah, looking at the schedule, they were losing to the big teams, and there's a few odd sprinkles of losses there, which is the main reason, I think, why they finished fourth. Transfers, they brought in Barami from Porto for £23.5 million. Decent left winger. They got Johnny in from Vigo for £27 million. A defender that can play right along the back. Mario from Villarreal for £29 million, a right back. So they're investing in the defence, it looks like. Moreno, a striker. So, I mean, they've only got Firmino at the moment up front. So, well, I know they've got Danny Ings and Solanke, but they're very much youngsters. Diego Llorente, another centre-back. So they really are investing in the defence of Liverpool. And then Jonas from Benfica, another striker. So with strikers and defenders, they seem to have brought in. But as far as outs, they've let Clavan go on loan. They've sold Bogdan. There we are. Look, Firmino's gone to Dortmund for £83 million. That's why they've had to bring in strikers, because they've sold their main striker, even though he's technically not a striker. And they've let Dejan Lovren go to China. It's probably for the best. He's not one of our strongest centre-backs, in my opinion, but they have let him go to China. So that is the first season performance. We're going to come back in 2 seasons' time and see how Liverpool get on. It's the year 2020, guys. It's the end of season 3. So we've got 2 seasons to cover. Whilst we are here, we'll have a look at Liverpool. Let's see how they've got on in their 2 seasons since we've been gone. So in the latest season, they've come 3rd. But like I said, we'll have a look at the league table first. We'll just see how they've got on. So this was the first season. They came in 3rd place. Did they improve on 3rd place? They won the league! They won the Spanish La Liga. They had the same points as Barcelona, scored the same goals. They conceded more, but they must have beat them on head-to-head. So Liverpool, we've done it, boys. Liverpool are the Spanish League champions of 2018 to 2019. There we are. Liverpool can win in Spain. Did they retain their title, though? Did they build on their success? No, they didn't. They came 3rd place, and they were a whopping 14 points off the top. So it might be a one-hit wonder. It might be a one-season wonder. But after what would be 29 years... No? Yes, 29 years, Liverpool have finally won a league title. It might not be the English title, but they have won a league title. So what we'll do, we'll have a look at the schedule for all the 2 seasons, because we'll cover the cup competitions in the schedule. So this is season 2, the season they won the league. So won all their friendlies. Very good start to the season. Beat Valencia 1-0 as one of the highlights. They did lose to Real Madrid again, though, away from home. Drew against Atletico Madrid, but beat Sevilla. Oh, and they had Man United in the group stages, and they lost 2-0 at home. That is a tough one to take as a Liverpool fan. Hopefully we'll do them in the reverse leg. But they went on a bit of an unbeaten run here. Beat Monaco in the Champions League. Beat Toledo in the first leg of the 4th round. They lost to Monaco, though, in their group. So a very strong group with Monaco and Man United. But they beat Chievo 3-0. We lost 3-0 away from home to Man United at the away leg. Very tough to take. Will that be enough to get us through to the first knockout round? But they beat Toledo in the Spanish Cup 4th round. They beat Barcelona 2-0 away. So that's probably the result that's got them to win the league, depending on how the home leg went. But they had Alaves in the Spanish Cup 5th round. They beat them 4-2 overall. They had Barcelona in the quarterfinals, though. They lost 2-1 away, drew 1-1 at home, and that's going to be why they were knocked out in the quarterfinals. So, no Spanish Cup yet for Liverpool. They lost consecutive games to Atletico and to Real Madrid, and they had Tottenham in the Europa League. So they didn't even get through the knockout round of the the Champions League, but they got through to Spurs, and they lost 3-1 away and 1-0 at home. So they got through to the Europa League first round and got knocked out of that as well. So European football-wise this season, not the best for Liverpool. But we lost 1-0 to Sevilla, and then after that, they went on an unbeaten run right to the end of the season, where they beat Barcelona 1-0 at home. So between that game and the 2-0 win away from home, probably won them the league. So an incredible result for Liverpool. So as far as the cups go, could have done better, but they did win La Liga. So because they won the league, they got through the Spanish Cup against Real Madrid. They lost 1-0 away, drew 2-2 at home. They didn't win the Super Cup. So this is the year they finished third in the league. Not the best start. Drew 2 games, one against Vigo. They lost to AC Milan in the Champions League, but they beat Barcelona 2-1 at home. So they've got Barcelona's number from the looks of it. Beat Valencia, they beat Shakhtar in the Champions League. Lost to Las Palmas though. So another loss which they should have won, to be honest with you. But they beat Dortmund in the Champions League. Lost to Atletico Madrid. They looks to have beaten Huelva in the fourth round of the Cup. But they did draw against Dortmund and they did beat AC Milan. So I think they would have qualified from their group from the sounds of things there. But they lost their last game, so we'll soon find out. So another unbeaten run, including beating Sevilla. So we've got a lot of cup competitions here. So they beat Vigo from the looks of it in the 5th round of the Spanish Cup. They lost to Real Madrid. I think that's a bogey team for Liverpool. They just can't seem to beat Real Madrid, which doesn't bode well for our Champions League final this year, which, as of recording, hasn't taken place. So fingers crossed for that. But they had Barcelona in the Spanish Cup quarter-final, which they beat them 2-0 away and beat them 3-0 at home. So a 5-0 aggregate win against Barcelona got them to the semi-finals, where they lost to Bilbao 2-0 and drew 0-0. So they only got to the semi-finals of the Spanish Cup this time. A bit disappointing, and they followed that up with a 3-0 loss to Valencia. So very patchy form here. So from 5th of February to March, so basically all of February, they're very patchy. Didn't win a game in that month. Drew to Las Palmas, drew to Juventus, drew to Getafe. They did pick it up a bit against Bilbao, and then they did draw against Atletico Madrid, but they lost to Juventus in the Champions League first knockout round. So that was the end of the cup competitions for Liverpool. So again, no cups this year, but they did go on an unbeaten run at the end of the season, including a last day victory against Real Madrid, the 1-0. So they did manage to win the league, but no cup competitions for Liverpool as of yet. Transfer history. So season 2, they got Naby Keita in, so that's a pre-arranged transfer. So he's going to come in for 62 million anyway. He's wanted by Man City. Will he go? They brought in Paul Nardi from Monaco for 750k. Looks to have already gone out of the club, so he was a youngster, I think, anyway. How old is he? Well, not 26, so not a youngster, but probably just a backup goalkeeper, I would imagine. And then Mario Mandzukic from Juventus, another striker they're bringing in. Looks to be still at the club. 19 appearances, 15 off the bench, 8 goals for Mandzukic. Out, they've let Flanagan go to Swansea for 1.3 million. Klein's gone to Leverkusen. Moreno's gone to Leverkusen. So the Germans have got a Liverpool right and left back. Danny Ward's gone out. Grabra's gone out. Danny Ings has been sold to Huddersfield. Probably for the best, he wasn't going to get games. A bunch of loans. Origi's gone out on loan to Newcastle. Markovic has gone to Villarreal. We bought him for 20 mil. Only got out for 1.9. That's pretty much it as far as the outs go. That was season 2. Season 3, they brought in Phobie from Watford on a free. A right back from the looks of it. Still at the club. Nabil Fekir, so from Lyon, attacking mid/striker. Looks to be banging in the goals. 17 goals in the latest season. Daley Blind, ooh, that's a controversial transfer. From United to Liverpool. Defensive midfielder, centre-back. Samu Costello from Villarreal, yep. Brought him in. He looks to be a left wing or right winger. Very much an impact sub looking at the appearances. Andre Horta from Benfica. Decent centre midfielder. Very much rotation. Only played 22 games. Well, that's, to be fair, it's quite a lot. And Jerome Rulli, a goalkeeper. He's got to be first choice. Yeah, he's first choice for Liverpool in the league. So this would have been the season after they won the league. So £116 million spent and only 22 out. So Swansea, my other team that I support, please watch Saving Swans on the channel. Link in the description down below. I've bought a few players. They brought Nardi in. They brought Ryan Kent in. Ryan Kent's a decent youngster. Andrew Robertson's been sold to Napoli. He's a decent left back for us. Grujic has gone to Real Sociedad. Ojo's gone to Brentford. So they seem to be getting rid of all our youngsters. Solanke's gone to Southampton. Milner's gone to Newcastle. He's got to be quite old now. Yeah, 34 years old. So he's coming close to retirement. So they're making as much money as they can. And Lallana's gone out on loan to Newcastle. So a lot of the old guard are leaving Liverpool. And a lot of the youngsters and the new ones are coming in. So we've got one league title for Liverpool, but no cup so far. We're going to go forward 3 more seasons, and we'll see you at the end of season 6 and go through the last 3 seasons. Can Liverpool win a cup, or can they win another league title? I'll see you at the end of season 6. It's now the end of season 6. It's the year 2023. So it's been 3 seasons on since we last spoke. Let's have a look. Let's see how Liverpool have got on. Can they win another cup, or can they, well, not another cup, they haven't won it, but can they win another league title? That'll be the interesting one. So we'll have a look at the league first. So this is season 1, which we've seen. They won season 2. They came 3rd season 3. So can they win in season 4? Nope, they came 4th in season 4. They were, oh Christ, so what's that? 13, 14, 17 points. Quick maths there. Off the top of the league, but they still managed to secure a Champions League place, but they were well off the pace of the other 3 teams. They're all within a space of 2 points of each other, but Liverpool well off the pace in season 4, but they recovered in season 5. They're a 2-time La Liga champions. There we go, guys. Liverpool just need to move to Spain and we can win the league again, but they won it by a point off Real Madrid and Atletico. So again, 2 points separating the top 3. But Barcelona were off the pace by 10 points. But there we go, guys. Liverpool are 2-time La Liga champions. But they didn't follow it up. They came 3rd the season after in season 6. So in the 6 years, Liverpool have won the league twice. 2-time league champions. Nothing more you can say. I mean, what's that? They've won the Spanish league a 3rd of the time we've been doing this experiment. Happy days. I'm chuffed with that, to be honest with you. So what we'll do, we'll have a look at the schedule for season 4. So this would have been the year they came in 4th. This is where they were off the pace. Only 2 friendlies. They beat Roma, lost to AC Milan. Very good start to the season. Won their opening, 6 games? So 5 of them in the league, including a 2-1 win against Barcelona. Beat Sevilla. Real Madrid were the team to defeat them, though. Lost 3-2. They are their bogey team, though, so they don't do very well against Real Madrid. But after that, they went on another unbeaten runs. They beat Moscow. They beat Benfica. They drew against Benfica in the Champions League. Beat Getafe in the Spanish Cup, 4th round. They drew against Benfica. They lost to Real Betis, though, in the Spanish League. So that's their 2nd loss in the league come November. So up until December, they only lost 2 games all year. So obviously the second half of the year is where they've gone down. But they beat Galatasaray in the Champions League. They beat Getafe again in the 4th round of the Spanish Cup. They beat CSKA Moscow in the Champions League. And I think, here we go. This is where they're kind of falling down a bit. So right up until from the middle of December to January, they drew against Deportivo La Coruña. They lost to Atletico Madrid in the league, lost to Bilbao in the league, lost to Levante in the Spanish Cup 5th round, beat them in the league, and then drew against them in the Cup. So Levante are the team to knock them out of the Spanish Cup. So we've still yet to see any cups from Liverpool. But if we look at the second half of the season, they lost to Celta Vigo, lost to Barcelona. They had Arsenal in the Champions League, where they beat them 1-0 away from home. But they lost to Real Madrid again, so they've done the double over Liverpool. Have Real Madrid. Drew against Valencia. They lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal. They lost on penalties. That's the cruel way to be knocked out of the Champions League. But then after that, from March onwards, They were unbeaten in the league, including a draw against Atletico Madrid. But a strong end to the season, but I think it was the middle where they kind of messed up. It was this sort of period here, from December to February, where the season kind of collapsed a little bit there. But if we have a look at Season 5, so this is the year they won the league. It looks like they were unbeaten in friendlies. Lost to AC Milan, no. They always seem to play Roma and AC Milan in friendlies, but there we are. So, opening sort of a couple of games, they lost to Real Madrid again. So they just can't get past them, it looks like. But they drew against Monaco in the Champions League. Another unbeaten run, including Shakhtar win in the league, before they lost to Valencia, so another decent team they're losing to there. Club Brugge, they beat 2-0 in the Champions League. They beat Hospitalet 2-1, and then beat them 3-0. So they got through to the Spanish Cup 5th round. A lot more unbeaten games. I think the big ones, they're going to be Bilbao, a 1-0 win. They drew against Atletico Madrid. So it doesn't look like they're beating the big teams this season, even though they won the league. But they drew against Shakhtar, but it does look like they did qualify for the knockout round. They had Valencia in the Spanish Cup, where they lost 3-2 at home and lost 3-2 away. So again, knocked out of the Spanish Cup in Season 5. So this is the end of the season now. So they beat Madrid 2-1. They finally get a win over Real Madrid. They had Dortmund in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Drew against them 0-0 away from home. And they beat them 2-1 at home. So they did manage to get through to the quarterfinals, where they come against their compatriots, Real Madrid. They drew 1-1 away from home, so a decent result away. They beat Atletico 2-1, but they lost 2-1 to Real Madrid at home, and that'll be why they knocked out in the quarterfinals. End of the season, they lost to Barcelona 1-0, but that wasn't enough. They still managed to win the league, so well done to Liverpool. And then in Season 6, so this will be the last season where they came in third, I believe. So Henderson's testimonials, been there for 10 years, beat Benfica 4-1. Again, played AC Milan in the friendlies, 1-2-0. So they would have gone to the Super Cup, where they lost to Atletico Madrid. So no cups for Liverpool. So look at that. So their first 3 games of the season, Barcelona away, Real Madrid at home, which they lost both times. That's going to be a disappointing start to the season. Well, look at that. Their first 4 games, they didn't pick up a victory. They did beat Sporting Gijon 2-0, followed by a loss 4-0 against Chelsea. That's a disappointing result again. So the old domestic rivals, but they didn't manage to pick up a win there. But they beat Atletico Bilbao. They lost to Celta Vigo 3-1. They lost to Dinamo Kiev in the Champions League. But after that, they went on a bit of an unbeaten run. Highlights of that, I would say, they beat Anderlecht in the Champions League, beat them again. Eibar, they won 4-1. Malaga, they beat 3-0. And the team that upsets them is Atletico Madrid. So Liverpool definitely have a problem with beating the big sides, at least. But they did get revenge against Chelsea with a 2-1 win in the reverse fixture. So up until the new year, they beat Badajoz. That is not how you say it, but they beat them 8-0 in the second leg. So they beat them 11-0 on aggregate. But we come up to Christmas now and the new year. They had Albacete in the 5th round, where they beat them 5-1 on aggregate. They had Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinals, where they lost on penalties. That's the second time they've lost on penalties in a cup competition, including the Champions League against Arsenal. Disappointing from the boys in red, but they had PSG in the first knockout round. They did qualify for the first knockout round of the Champions League. They beat them 3-1 at home. They lost 2-1 away, but that's fine. They still managed to get through. They went unbeaten, including a win against Atletico Madrid, 3-0. But they lost to Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Lost 2-0 away, drew 1-1 at home. And that, my friends, was the end of the season. So no cup competition wins for Liverpool. throughout this experiment. But we'll have a look at the transfers. We'll see how they got on. Okay, so here's the transfers they've done. So we'll start with season 3. They've brought in Walter Kahneman from Tottenham for £26 million, and he's already left the club. Marcus Alonso for £17.25 million from Red Bull. Decent left back / left winger, more of a left wing back, which is obviously a combination of the two. But he's still at the club because you've got to bear in mind, these are season 3 transfers. So we're 3 years in the future from when these players were signed. Yannick Carrasco, so they've brought him back from China. Still at the club, 63 appearances. He is wanted by Juventus though, so be interesting to see if they let him go. We will never know. Yeray from Sevilla for £10 million. Now plays for Bilbao. Only made 6 appearances. Samu Casado only signed for 89k. And Ignacio Zubizarreta is a regen on loan at Atletico Bilbao. Out, let's see, they let the Ox go back to Southampton, back to his youth team for £8.75 million. Llorente's gone to Leverkusen. Joe Gomez has gone to Atletico Madrid. So all the decent youngsters are leaving. So they've let go sort of Joe Gomez. They've let go Klein, although he's not a youngster. They've let go... Who else have they let go? There's someone obvious I'm thinking of. Oh, Solanke they've let go. So all the youngsters seem to be going. They've let Mignolet go to Palace. It's about time, to be honest with you. That's about it as far as outs go. So season 4, they spent £57 million. They signed Stefano Denswil from Ajax. Decent centre-back, who now no longer plays for the club. Patrick Schick for £29 million from Roma. Looks to be a striker. So played 22 games, scored 19 goals. That is a fair return. Jose Martinez, a regen for the under-23s. Now an attacking midfielder on loan at Celta Vigo. By all means, pause the video if you want to look at the individual players. I'll leave it on long enough for you to have a look at. Hid to Arvest from PSG. Looks to be a right back. Rotational right back, backup maybe. And their last player, Vukasin Jablan from Partizan. Looks to be a regen, centre back. On loan at Real Sociedad. Out. Oh, they let Trent go to Man City. No, he's one of Liverpool's own. Why'd you let him go to Man City? But they let him go for £26.5 million. They sold Daley Blind for £10 million after getting him in on a free. That's a decent return. Harry Wilson, another decent youngster, gone to West Ham for £1.1 million. Brewster, another youngster, gone out to Huddersfield for £2.6 million. I mean, they're letting all these youngsters go, and they're Premier League players. But then, are they good enough for a Spanish First Division team? That's the question. Denswill's gone out to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yeray's gone to Bilbao. That's pretty much it for them. And season 6, the latest season, they brought in Pedro Rodriguez from Benfica for £21.5 million, a holding midfielder, 200 grand a week, although he is a first team player. Rodri from Villarreal for £10.5 million, sounds like a Welshman, but he's not, he's actually Spanish. He's a holding midfielder. So they brought 2 holding midfielders, they must have done a change in tactic. Adolfo Mimambres for £2.2 million, a regen, another holding midfielder, so they're planning for the future. Sergio Puig, a centre midfielder, youngster, on loan at Albacete, got him in for a free. And Fernando Sanchez, a centre-back, a regen, who looks to have been a first-team player for them. Out in the final season, Emir Can's gone to Bayern Munich for £13.5 million. Probably cashed in on him when they could. Walter Kahneman's gone to Dynamo Kiev. And that's pretty much it as far as transfers go, guys. So the question has to be asked, can Liverpool win in Spain? Yes, they can. No cup competitions, but they've won 2 league titles. And to be honest with you, if I sort of sit out a little bit, you can see my kit that I'm wearing. As a biased Liverpool fan, I will say that they've made it in Spain. So that is the end of the experiment, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed seeing Liverpool dominate not quite dominate, but dominate Spanish football. And there is a linked experiment, which is the Real Madrid in England experiment, which I will put in the description for you to check out as well. So if I plan this correctly, this will be going out on the Thursday before the Champions League final. So if you do manage to watch this before the final, leave me a comment of who you think is going to win the Champions League final 2018. Will it be Real Madrid or will it be Liverpool? My completely unbiased thoughts are going to be a 3-2 win to Liverpool. And it's going to be end-to-end. Both have got good attacks. Both have got fairly dodgy defences. Although Real's are definitely better than Liverpool's. So hopefully it's going to be a high-scoring game. Subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager experiments, along with my ongoing Saving Swans series, which is Saving Swansea City. We are currently in Season 5, about to go into an FA Cup final as of recording this. So wait and see how we get on with that. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.